village years ago, there lived a family called the Jameses. Their home sat on the edge of a dark, enigmatic forest, one that seemed to breathe its own secrets into the cold, quiet night. The villagers whispered tales about this forest, but one warning reverberated through generations: no one should enter the woods after sundown. It was said that the woods were inhabited by spirits and otherworldly beings, creatures not meant to share the world with humans. One cold, stormy evening, the oldest son of the James family, Rock, decided to prove everyone wrong. He was tired of the fear that hung over his family and the superstitions that shaped their lives. Armed with nothing but a flashlight and his bravado, he ventured into the heart of the forbidden woods, determined to uncover the truth. As he crossed deeper into the forest, each step felt heavier. The ancient trees, their twisted branches reaching out like skeletal hands, seemed to whisper secrets in a language he couldn't understand. Shadows moved at the edge of his vision, and though he tried to dismiss it as his imagination, a cold dread began to creep into his chest. But then he saw it. There, hidden behind thick tangles of ivy, stood a gate. Its iron bars were corroded with age, and strange symbols were carved into the frame, glowing faintly in the moonlight. The air around it felt alive, as though the gate itself were breathing. His heart raced, but his curiosity was stronger than his fear. He reached out, gripping the icy bars, and slowly pushed the gate open. The moment he stepped through, everything changed. The lush, vibrant forest was gone, replaced by a desolate, haunting landscape. The trees were bare, their bark blackened as though by fire, and an unsettling mist clung to the ground. The air was thick with whispers, faint and just out of his ear's reach. Rock turned back, but the gate had vanished. Panic set in. He was trapped. For days he wandered this eerie world, unable to find his way back. The mist brought with it shadowy figures that flitted just out of sight. Each whisper, each movement felt like a warning or a threat. And then came the night he wasn't alone. The sound of heavy, deliberate footsteps approached from behind. He spun around, and there she was, a pale figure of a woman, her empty eyes glowing faintly in the dark.
You should not be here. This is not your world.
Terrified, Rock ran, stumbling over gnarled roots and rocks as her voice echoed behind him.
Leave before it's too late.
But the way out wasn't so easily found. Days turned to nights, and nights turned to an abyss of despair. Just as his hope was fading, he encountered a family of spirits. Unlike the others, their presence was warm, not threatening. They took pity on him, their glowing forms illuminating a hidden path.
You do not belong here. We will guide you, but you must promise never to return.
Rock swore it. They led him to the spot where the gate had stood, and just as mysteriously as it had disappeared, it reappeared. Trembling, he stepped through and found himself back in the forest he knew. The familiar scent of damp earth and pine filled his lungs. As he returned home, bedraggled and shaken, his family ran to him, their relief almost palpable. Rock recounted the horrors he had seen, the beings he had encountered. From that day forward, no one in the village dared to enter the woods, for they all believed the stories now. And there, hidden in the depths of the forest, the gate to another world waits, silent, watchful, and eternally forbidden.